Hello, everybody. I'd like to begin by thanking all of you for spending the time to hear my thoughts and comments and get an update on how we've been doing the last few weeks on our social media platforms. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here speaking to you and hope that we can see the things that worked well, see the things that didn't work so well, and move forward in the future and complete the tasks that need to be done to continue growing this great company. So I'll begin the slide that I shared with you, focusing on some of the goals that the CMO gave me. So some of them, and I'm not going to read them entirely, but there was an allocated $5,000 every single week for posting that that the CMO wanted to spend. You wanted to break it up, have 25% of it on the content that was being published and 75% of that money on the promotion of it. So putting that into, more simple words, 25% of $5,000 was on the content, so the pictures and the images or the money that required to come up with the post, and then the other 75% on getting it to the target audience, promoting it to the people that will, eventually or sooner or later purchase Buhi product. The other smaller ones were just growing the Buhi's brand awareness, increasing engagement through likes, shares, comments, anything that has to do with social media platforms. We wanted to increase our sales by 10% for the entire year by the end of the year. And most importantly, outperform our peers or the competing companies. We wanted to be an industry-leading company, which I believe we have become. I had some personal goals for the social media. And I feel like we did very, very well. I wanted to increase our revenue from $15 million, which it was the previous year, to $17 million. And having a $2 million increase is a pretty significant goal, but it ended up working very well. Having an increase yearly market share from 0.25% to 0.3%. And then also increasing the amount of customers and visitors on the website, keeping them on the platform for longer periods of time, having them stick around, because the more time that they spend on the website usually means the more spending they're going to do or more products they're going to see. I also had some goals to increase the content that was being promoted, having things be worded different, having the appearance of things be better, having it be more appealing to the eye. As millennials, they are becoming more impatient, for the lack of a better term, and they're just scrolling. And it's important for them to, in order to succeed on a social media platform, they need to have something catch their eye and catch their attention right away, because the attention span is very short. An overview of the Buhi marketing plan, very similar to the last one, but it's to find products that the customers love, finding manufacturers to produce those and sell those to us at very low cost, and then turning around and selling them for higher profits, but still having reasonable and competitive pricing to our competitors. We want to become an industry-leading company, and as I mentioned before, I believe that that is something that has happened over the last few weeks. Focusing on some of the strategies that I had for achieving the marketing plan that we had here at Buhi, I wanted to immediately, right from the get-go, I wanted to start promoting all of the content somewhat equally to see what works, what doesn't work, what platforms work better, what target audiences work better, trying to find that perfect targeted audience to get the maximum outcome to find who are purchasing the Buhi products the most, with the most profit, et cetera, et cetera. A few weeks in, I wanted to lay off on some of that and focus more on the things that works better, kind of what I said, whether it was focus more on on Facebook compared to Instagram or vice versa. Just focusing on what works better and putting the money more towards that to get the maximum outcome. I wanted to differentiate the promoted content on different channels. So, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Pinterest are 6 of the social media platforms that we use. And obviously some of them worked better than others, but all went pretty well. I wanted to heavily promote posts with discounts, deals, and promo codes. And that's something that I learned pretty early on, that those were the posts that were getting the most revenue. People were clicking more, people were engaging more, and we were able to see more outcomes and profits, higher profit levels when those were when that was the content that was being promoted. Similar to what I just mentioned, there a few things worked very well. There's a few things that didn't work well. What worked was, heavily promoting the posts that have the deals, discounts, promo codes, etc. People like that. People want to save money, so those are enticing to them. The things that didn't work too well was I waited a little bit too long to see what worked well and didn't work well. Because of that, I feel there is a little bit of money lost earlier on in the simulation. As I mentioned before, there's a few channels used. The 6 were Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest. And I probably have those in the order that I found most effective. I felt Facebook and Instagram were very, very good. Pinterest is probably the 3rd one, but the LinkedIn, Twitter, and Snapchat, I didn't see huge amounts of success from them. But Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest were very, very good. I feel like our target audience did very well on those platforms. I ran into a small crisis with a flakier boss, for the lack of a better term. She ended up just taking off, for almost the entire simulation. But there's a sense of me being able to relax on social media, being able to put what I feel like I've learned more into it and promoting the things and doing the things that I felt would work good. And they ended up working very well. So that's how I got over the crisis. We can see the company growth. We actually earned $218,194 of revenue over the 6 social media platforms, and you can see those in the numbers broken down. As I mentioned before, Facebook did the best, then Pinterest, then Instagram, and then Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. And then the company growth, we actually had a total amount of new followers on our social media platforms of 105,086. So that was a lot of people who joined in and started seeing what we were doing, and that's where the success is going to come from, great exposure. There's a lot of money required, and there's a total allotted amount of almost $51,000. I used about 93% of that, using a total of about $47,000. And the goal is to use the full amount. As you can see, I didn't always do that, but I did about 93% of what was wanted to spend. The ending outcome, everything went very, very well. The way I see the future and what I feel is most important to emphasize is that social media, millennials, the future, it's always going to change. It's going to change every single day. And it's important to understand that some things that work right now or today or yesterday might not work tomorrow or might not work next week. So it's imperative for us to be able to see those changes, follow those changes, and change accordingly so that we can remain on top, being an industry leading company and providing our customers with the best products at the best prices, with the highest level of satisfaction, and just being the company that we've always been and standing for what, being the company that people expect us to be. So I believe that the future is bright, and we need to pay attention to the changes and change accordingly and do what's necessary to stay on top. I have a great faith in the future of this company. So thank you so much for being here and spending your time listening to the things I had to share today. And I hope that we can all keep our heads up and see the future and continue doing the things that are needed to be an industry-leading company. And I know that we can do so. So thank you so much for your time, and hope you have a great rest of your day.